Keep It or Change Cars, the motoring podcast with news, views, and interviews.
Welcome back to the Keep It or Change Cars podcast. I'm Nicky, your host. It feels like such a long time since I shot the podcast. I haven't seen you guys in a while. You guys haven't seen me in a while. But as always, I'm with my co-host to my left. How are you?
I'm superb. I hope you are. 14 days, but you're 100% right. Feels like a lifetime.
Yeah.
But today, we've got a podcast in store. I don't even know how many things we're going to talk about. 12, 15, 18. You're going to have to stop us and you're not even here.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
What are you in today?
I'm in the GWM Tank 300. Again, but this is the diesel. That's the difference. So I had the hybrid sometime last year. Now I'm in the diesel one.
So just so I understand, when it came out, it was a petrol only.
Yeah, petrol.
Petrol turbo.
Petrol turbo.
Nice performance. Then before we come to the diesel, what was the hybrid about? What engine has that got again?
It's the I think it's 2 liter plus hybrid technology in it.
So plug-in hybrid?
No, it's not a plug-in hybrid.
Oh, normal traditional hybrid.
Traditional hybrid, not plug-in hybrid, yes.
And now the diesel, what have we got under there?
The diesel's much better.
Kilowatts?
Much better. Not too sure kilowatts. Off the top of my head, I think it's around 130 kilowatts. It's the same diesel engine found in the new P300.
Right.
So yeah, I like it. I feel like this is the engine that it should have came with, not the hybrid.
Interesting. So we always say a petrol head. So if you said to me of the three, without a shadow of doubt, I'm going petrol.
Yeah.
Then the hybrid's a nice balance, but the vast majority of people will go diesel in a car like that.
Yeah, 100%. You need a diesel like that. Even if you look at cars that are in and around that size, like your Fortuners, your Everest, your Isuzu MUX, they all diesels. There's no petrol, anything like that.
I think when you think of a modern SUV, big or small, medium size, should I say, you always think of it as a diesel. Now, performance on road, is it strong?
Yeah, it is strong. It is strong. I just got it today, and as I was driving it today, there was no point in time I felt like I needed more power.
Nice. Because that's not a small car. When you look at that car, for me, it looks like almost like a bit of a Jeep, Wrangler, Jeep Renegade. What was that small one?
I think it looks more like a Wrangler for me.
Right.
Yeah, it looks more like a Wrangler. And I did have a Wrangler, I think like 3 weeks or a month ago, so it looks more like a Wrangler.
So now something interesting. We spoke about petrol, we spoke about hybrid, and we speak about diesel. How's the weather in Joburg at the moment?
Very cold. Don't see me wearing short sleeves. Best believe my jacket is somewhere here. It is
He's
quite
just
cold.
pretending.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning, you get in that diesel. Can you get in it and drive it straight away as normal?
No, I don't do that, whether it's diesel or petrol.
Okay. You mean you don't drive it hard?
I don't drive it. I let the car warm up first.
Right. But interesting. Now, when you say warm up, because this is what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Warm up while standing still or just driving it easily for the first 2-3 kilometers?
So it's two things. If I'm not in a rush, I'll let the car warm up standing still.
Okay.
And then if I am in a rush, I'll start the car but drive it soft, not hard, because you will feel it as well, that you won't get the full performance. It will feel like you're hurting the car, if anything.
So interesting. For me, always, no matter what, drive a car easily. But the days of warming up a car. So you say sometimes you'll let the car stand in the driveway a minute or two?
Oh, yeah, a minute or two.
Okay.
Just the cold start, just the revs to settle.
Now, we've always said it's about the audience. What I would love to know is your thoughts. Is it good or is it bad to warm up a car? The reason I'm talking about this is I got a question from a customer. I said, Mike, would you or would you not warm up a car? My opinion, now remember, I'm not talking about driving a car hard.
Yeah.
I'm talking about standing start in the morning. Would I warm up the car or not? Me.
I'm going to say no.
Correct.
Okay.
Warming up a car, to the best of my knowledge, is bad for a car. Modern cars have got all these fancy electronics that change everything. So exactly what you say, it's not going to stop you revving it to 6,000. Just your brain should stop you. But while the car's idling, apparently it dilutes the oil. It's just a whole lot of bad stuff. Have you ever driven a car from the 70s or 80s?
No, I haven't.
Those of you from the 70s and 80s, cars in those days had something called a choke. Have you ever heard that term?
No idea.
Ask Dad what is a choke. C-H-O-K-E. You'd start the car, or in fact, let me rephrase that. You'd try start the car. It wouldn't start. You'd pull a little lever. It was called a choke. What would the choke do? It would cut off the air. It would only give you petrol. So have you ever had a car that won't start, an old car, and they put petrol down the carburetor?
Yes.
Okay, so a choke did similar. Now, in those days, service intervals on cars were between 5 and 7,500 kilometers. Why?
Because of the choke?
Correct. because the choke was putting more fuel into the engine. It was diluting the oil, polluting the oil, so to speak. So the answer is a modern car, don't warm it up, Nicky. It's not good for it.
So I've heard like modern vehicles, there's no need for you to warm it up. Like even like especially modern diesels. I've heard people say like old school diesels, yeah, sometimes you need to just warm it up. But new diesels, literally just start the car and go. A lot of modern cars do that as well. I know with performance vehicles as well, going back to what you say, I think some Mercedes-Benz do it. I know with an A45, the previous A45, previous generation, you can start the car. You want to put the car into race, it won't allow you. Into race mode.
Oh, yeah.
It won't allow you to go into race mode. It will keep you in comfort. And then things like if you want to do launch control as well, it won't allow you to launch because the gearbox temperature is not at the right temperature, the oil is not the right temperature, the car is not the right temperature. So it wants to tick all those 3 boxes first, and then it will allow you to launch.
Okay, interesting.
So some cars also won't give you full power. Well, performance cars.
Cool. So now, as you're speaking, I'm just thinking, have you ever wondered how many kilometers you've done in your life? Easy to work out. Most people do between 2,000 and 4,000 kilometers a month. Times that by how many years you're driving. How many kilometers do you estimate that I reckon I've driven in my life? Been driving for 27 years.
Over a million.
No, we're 27 years. 33 years I've been driving.
Yeah.
34 years.
Over a million.
Way over a million. How many kilometers do you think I reckon I've done in a diesel in that time?
In a diesel.
So way over a million kilometers. How many kilometers do you reckon I've done in a diesel? And if I'm wrong, I'm only wrong to a few kilometers.
Like you. I'm not saying less than 1,000.
100%. I have probably not driven 1,000 kilometers
in a diesel.
myself in a diesel. I'm talking about, I've been in diesel cars, I've been in buses, of course, but where I've been driving. So I know very little about dynamics of a diesel. That's why I asked you. In the morning, a petrol, any of my cars, I get in it, it feels exactly the same. Can you feel a difference in a diesel car before it warms up?
I think I'll be the wrong person to ask. I haven't lived with the diesel long enough for me to be able to tell when it's hot and when it's cold. With the petrol vehicle, I can tell you, but with the diesel, I haven't lived with the car for that long for me to be able to tell you.
So I made a comment. I said, I'm not a manual fan. If I could eliminate the manual gearbox, I'll be very happy. And a few people said, oh no, you've got to keep the manual gearbox. What comes a close second to eliminating a manual gearbox?
Diesel.
Absolutely. The future of engines, in my opinion, is plug-in hybrid. What do you think?
100%. Plug-in hybrids are definitely the future. As you can see, companies, manufacturers are trying to move into the electric part of things, and it's failing for some manufacturers. And the only way they can take a step back from full electric
balance
the both. So it's plug-in hybrid is coming to play.
So we've said it before, every single week we get reach out from the public. That's what the show's about. The brand that is Mazda. How do I rate Mazda?
You love the brand. You love the brand, the product in specific.
People always say, Mike, I know you love Mazda and you've had challenges with marketing, etc. This week, Craig Roberts, the MD of Mazda. I had the pleasure of speaking to Craig, and I'm going to tell you why I spoke to Craig. Customer reached out, brand new 2024, almost brand new CX-30, small little problem on the driver's window. Every now and again, it gets stuck. Non-event, small little problem. Okay. I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to CC the MD of Mazda South Africa in to see how he responds. Sent the email, call it 12 o'clock. What time did Craig respond?
12:30?
Before 12:05.
Really?
Immediately, the customer was sorted out. I said, Craig, well done. Can I give you a call? 5 minutes later, Craig was kind enough to call me. I've got the pleasure of meeting with Craig on the 29th of July. The reason I mention it like this, a huge, huge shout out. Craig believes in this product so much, wants to share with us what's happening, plans for 2026. Super excited. Who else has disappointed us at certain stages?
Disappointed us?
Last week I said you're starting to hear a few complaints about Mahindra.
Oh yes. Oh yes, you spoke about Mahindra, yes, 100%.
So now during the course of the week, I've had a few more complaints. I reach out to Leo Koch, who I rate so highly.
100%.
Leo says, let me get the MD of Mahindra to phone you.
Okay.
The MD of Mahindra phones me. Landline or cell phone? Where does he phone me from?
Cell phone.
Correct. Why?
Okay. No idea why.
Wants us to have his number. So to Rajesh, the CEO of Mahindra South Africa, absolute shout out. Now, you may think to yourself, why do you mention these names? I believe if somebody's doing something wrong, they need to be called out. If they're doing something right, they need to be called out even more.
Yeah.
So to Rajesh, to Mazda, absolute well done. We've always said the problem is not the issue. It's how the problem is either dealt with or, sadly, in many cases, not dealt with. One other brand. Good brand, Chinese brand, doing super well, established brand in the country. Funny enough, we don't get a lot of complaints about them, but the odd little challenge.
Was it the main Chinese brand?
The one. There's two main Chinese brands.
That's what I'm asking. There's
GWM and Chery.
Chery, okay, yeah.
Which one?
I'm not saying, let's go to Chery. Let's give Chery the benefit of that. I'm not saying Chery.
He's a fruit fan. Absolutely. Small little challenge. I get hold of the right person at Chery. The name of the gentleman is Megen, M-E-G-E-N.
Okay.
Again, immediately. Why do I keep saying where we're going with this? The manufacturers want to help. The moment you want to help, you have me won over. I don't care about the problem, only how the problem's dealt with. And I'd like to take this opportunity to ask all the OEMs that we don't have your details, and you know who they are. Please say to us, Mike, Nicky, if you have a challenge, engage with us, allow us to rectify it speedily. There's only one OEM that I'll put my neck on a block that will never change their approach in South Africa. I've seen it repeatedly. The customers, the dealers, they're also the same. Don't focus on him. You know who it is.
I know what you're about.
Ford South Africa, I've got to shout out to you. As positive I am to all the mentioned names, I'm negative to Ford South Africa. Neil Hill, the MD, Manesh Baglu and Natalie Tuck from customer service. Every single day, how is it possible, not one, not two, not three, but 5+ complaints a day that you're getting? And each one of them, what's the guarantee they'll give on it?
I mean, in terms of fixing the problem?
Ford will give you a guarantee. The guarantee will be they'll ignore your concern. Ford will give you a guarantee. The guarantee I'll give you is Ford will renege on that guarantee. I can tell you right now, Ford South Africa is the one brand that I put at the bottom of the pile in every single respect. Major people who buy cars, do you think they're looking at Ford differently? Not because of our podcast. The podcast has added to that. But the experience with the brand, are they looking at Ford differently?
You mean people that have owned the car?
People that have owned cars and people that are looking to buy cars second-hand and buying services. People that are buying cars. Motor dealers. Will they trade in Fords the same way they'll trade in a Toyota or a Nissan or Honda or Mazda?
No, I don't think so, because of what they're hearing, whether it's true or not true. Majority of the time it is partly true. Well, it is true. But I'm looking at it a point of view as if I have a dealership, Nicky's Garage, for example. And
sounds good. got to consider it.
So I have Nicky's Garage, and I come across you want to sell me your Toyota Hilux, for example, because of the reputation Hilux has.
I want.
I'm not gonna think twice. I'm like, oh, Hilux reliable. Oh, no complaints. Oh, Toyota. And then I don't know. I don't know the podcast. I do not know of the podcast. I don't know Nicky and Michael, right? And then someone else comes to me and says, I want to sell my Ford Ranger. When I hear that there's people there's especially Hilux owners, they actually do this a lot. They'll say, your car is not good off-road, it's unreliable. You know, there's that banter between Ford owners and Toyota owners. So when I start to hear that part, I'll think twice. And the only way to alleviate me thinking twice in terms of that is fixing what is perceived, what is the perceived problem. So I think that's where maybe Ford is probably need to focus on, in terms of what can they do from their aspect to make things better for them.
Correct.
Because their competitor is not facing any of the challenges they're probably facing, or the challenges that they faced before.
I'll give you an example. So Ford, you've got two challenges. You've got a problematic product, new Fords, brand new Wildtrak V6. What's the one with the big engine, the Raptor?
Oh, the big one.
The new one.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. Turbo problems are starting to happen on that. Turbo bypass, where the turbos are whistling. You tell me how many of you have experienced brand new V6s?
Oh, yeah, and remember we did, sorry to cut you off, but remember I did ask on the podcast, I did say, if you have like a new Ford, please let me know. So I'm actually going to go back to those comments and see if there's anyone that did comment. And if you didn't see that video and you're seeing this video,
Please comment.
Please let me know. If you have a 2022, 23, 24, 25 Ford Ranger or Ford Everest that's giving you a problem, let me know. If you do own it, because I know many of you guys do own these vehicles, if it's not giving you a problem, please let us know. Because we also want to know if a car is not giving you a problem, if a car is giving you a problem. So if it's not giving you a problem, we can praise you. Because I remember I did say that if the previous version, the previous model, we hear a lot of complaints about that one. New one, not as much. And I did say if the new one is not getting a lot of complaints of the new one, that means they've taken a step forward in terms of rectifying what they've heard before. So I just want to know that.
There's incredible inconsistencies, but what I said about two problems. One, your cars give more problems per 100 cars sold than the competitors, and the way you deal with it is a bigger problem. Give you an example. I know the dealership well. Excellent relationship with the dealership. Customer reaches out to us. I said, don't worry, I know the dealership well, we'll deal with it. I reach out to my contact at the dealership, and there's a specific reason we don't mention the name. Not looking to throw any dealership ever under the bus. The dealership says, Michael, unfortunately we've been instructed by Ford South Africa not to speak to the customer. They will handle it directly. 2025 vehicle, 3 months old, bought in April. The dealership is told they can't speak to the customer, only Ford South Africa can. The very reason the customer reached out was because Ford CRC was not giving them the service. How is that for bad?
Okay, wait, so I just want to understand that. So the customer goes to a dealership.
Buys it from dealership A, brand new.
So let's use me, for example. I'm the customer. I'll buy the car brand new.
You're a good Ford customer. You look like a Ford customer, Nicky.
Yeah, a Raptor, Ford Raptor. So I buy a Ford. Was it a Wildtrak or was it a Ranger?
Which is the top of the range V6. Whichever the top of the range.
So there's the diesel V6.
No, petrol.
Oh, petrol V6.
Petrol.
Oh, that's a Raptor, Mike.
Correct,
Hey,
correct. Top of the range petrol.
Oh, so that's the one I like. Okay, so I'm perfect example. So I buy the V6 Raptor.
Correct.
In April. So 3 months down the line, May, June, July. So now, essentially, I have a problem.
Sorry to interrupt you. The moment I take delivery, I say this turbo sounds noisy.
Okay.
Should a turbo be whistling like this? I'm told it's normal.
Okay, so I carry on, and then I go to a Ford dealership. And then obviously when I go to dealership, I want them to assist me with what's going on. So I go to the dealership tells, the dealerships have, do they look at the car?
They look at the car, they test it, they call it a field engineer.
Okay,
who's not qualified, in my opinion, to be a fertilizer engineer.
So do they come back to me and tell me this
Correct.
is what's wrong with your car?
No, they told me it's normal.
Oh, they come back and tell me it's
They
normal.
can hear the whistling, but it's normal. But yet, I go on a tour to the Kalahari. I don't know if you know where the Kalahari is, the Northern Cape. I run into other Ford Raptor owners. We're talking about Ford. I say, how's this terrible whistling noise from the turbo? They say, what are you talking about? I show them mine. They say, that's not normal. Ford stick to their guns. They say it's normal.
Okay, so as a customer, I'm just trying to educate the customer in specific and everyone else. What's the next step as an owner? If the dealership's telling you that it's normal and you know that it's not normal, what is the next step?
Well, that's where the challenge comes in. You absolutely know it's not normal. You take it to another Ford dealership. They say, in their opinion, factually, it's not right. We're going to call a field engineer, because that's what Ford call them apparently, i.e. a Ford expert from Ford.
Okay.
He comes, he says, no, I've already seen this car. Not prepared to look at it again. It's normal. Where do you go? Where do you go?
It puts you in a very tight spot there.
So hence, that customer goes back to the selling dealer and says it's not right. Then the selling dealer contacts Ford. They say, we believe it's not right. Ford say, you can't speak to the customer, only we will handle it. What do? You've got a 3-month-old vehicle. You've paid R1 million. You're super excited on this. If that was Toyota, do you think there's a 0.1% chance that would happen?
It was Toyota, I don't know. Probably not.
I would say to you, guaranteed it won't. I'm not saying there can't be a problem with the vehicle.
How it's dealt.
That can be that can happen.
100%.
But how it's dealt with, that won't happen.
That's
a lot of people on the podcast have said, Michael, you're very pro Toyota. Guilty as charged. I'm not pro Toyota, as I've said many times before, for any reason other than the feedback we get on the Toyotas. And please believe me, very occasionally, there is a question around Toyota. There is a question. How it's dealt with, immediate. Less problems, much better dealing with a few problems versus major problems with Ford and a terrible way of dealing with it. We've got an opinion. And I know you're pro-Ford.
100%.
And you can see I'm not pro-Ford. I'm not anti-Ford, I'm just not pro-Ford. Go to anywhere where we comment. How many people say, Michael, you're a disgrace, you're wrong, you are completely off track? Does anybody say Ford is the most reliable, most brilliant, most customer-centric product?
No.
100%. So it's not a case of my opinion being right. It's my opinion being aired, being voiced, and the public commenting on. Go have a look. This is my third Ford and my last Ford. This is my third engine and the last time I'll touch Ford. It's always a problem. But Ford have got enough airtime. You're going to think, wow, in Michael, I've got the best marketing team. He talks about my brand more than my marketing people. Can I take a break?
Let's take a break. And we need to cool down. We need to cool down. Drink some water, cool down. It's been very heated. But yeah, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back from the break and speak about some interesting topics that Michael came up with.
Looking for a vehicle warranty? Look no further. CHANGECARS has partnered with VAPS SA, proudly powered by King Price Insurance. CHANGECARS, the brand the public trusts with good reason.
So over the past couple of weeks, or past week, we've heard about certain things within the motoring industry, and Mercedes-Benz is something that popped up. Mercedes-Benz East London, the plant. Michael is going to touch on about that, what's going on, to educate the people, so some people don't know what's going on.
So when we talk about the Mercedes East London plant, that's one of the oldest plants in South Africa. You talk about what that plant does for the town of East London, or the city of East London, and the Eastern Cape as a whole. If that plant closes, I tell you, it will be disastrous on a level that we don't know. Nissan closing will not be welcome. But Nissan is in Gauteng. Any job losses are felt, I get it. But Mercedes, in my opinion, is East London. Why is Mercedes, in your opinion, thinking of closing that plant down? Do you know?
Well, if I look at it like this, I think maybe because of the lack of vehicle sales in terms of like the C-Class. I know the C-Class is the one that's manufactured down there in East London. Yeah. So I'm probably thinking maybe lack of C-Classes sold being a sedan. That's what I'd like to think.
So I think respectfully, you're wrong. When we had Peter van Bensbergen on from BMW, I asked him the question, Peter, vehicles manufactured in South Africa, what percentage leave? 96%, meaning 1 in 25 stay. I don't know for a fact for Mercedes, but I can't imagine it's any better. So the whole Mercedes plant in South Africa is about export. So now we know our government has ruffled a lot of feathers and the wrong feathers. The feathers of big chickens, guys like Donald Trump. He has thrown 30% import duty onto vehicles from South Africa and many other countries. Where do Mercedes that leave this country predominantly go?
Overseas.
Correct. Europe, the US. And now imagine a car that was selling, I'm just thumb-sucking it, for $65,000. Now you've got to add $20,000 on that. So that Mercedes that was competitive against Lexus, against American products at $65,000, and $85,000, of course 30% of 65 roughly, is 20,000, all of a sudden uncompetitive. So we've got two challenges. What makes a foreign government do that? Almost wanting to punish us for things they think we've done. Where does that leave Mercedes? Mercedes closed that plant. The Americans aren't going to miss it. Germany will easily be able to cater for the shortfall should there be a demand in America. How many people do you think will lose their jobs in South Africa if Mercedes close? And again, you've got direct jobs, peripheral jobs, and then people surviving off that. What would you imagine, roughly?
I was going to say 1,000, but once you started saying, I'm like, no, it's a lot more. I have no idea, but a lot more than
closer
1,000.
to 20.
Yeah.
The Eastern Cape, and I promise you, I get cold. You know, I like Audi. Yeah. I've always said I'm a new BMW fan, and I've always admired Mercedes. I'm telling you now, Mercedes is shaking in this country. The local market won't be affected because why won't it be affected? We can still import Mercedes into South Africa,
Yeah,
no
100%.
problem. It's not like Mercedes are selling 12,000 vehicles a year in this country. They're selling a couple of hundred,
Yes.
maybe 2,000.
Maybe more than 2,000 a year.
2,100.
I'd like to think they're selling more than 2,000 because if they're selling like 400, 500 a month.
Is it 4 to 500 a month? So 5 to 6,000.
Yeah, let's say 5 to 6,000.
But you can import that.
Yes, we can.
The problem is what we lose on the export. So what I believe Mercedes South Africa and other big businesses need to engage the government and say, you are about to cost yourselves massively. Tax, imagine how much tax Mercedes-Benz pay in South Africa.
A lot of tax.
There are thousands of employees. How much tax do they pay? Absolute disaster.
I feel like they should is there a union? They should open like a plant union, you know, manufacturers on a plant union like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Nissan, Isuzu, Toyota. Then they'll all get one person to represent them, and then they all go to the.
It will be incredible. But
Yeah.
if our government, and remember, our show is never about politics, but if our government just had friendly policies that welcome investors, appreciate investors, encourage investors, and talk to investors, who will benefit?
Definitely us.
The citizens.
Speaking about brands, there's a brand that people are always commenting now, and I think we should give it airtime and speak about it, is Subaru. What's going on in Subaru in the country?
Just refresh my memory, Subaru, where did I last see one of those?
Exactly. That's why we need to talk about it. Because when I say Subaru, I know for a fact the car that comes to your mind is a blue Subaru with yellow decals and a big exhaust on the side. That's the Subaru that comes to your head. And I think that's the problem. You can't have, not necessarily a problem, but you can't, when I say Subaru, that's the only Subaru you think about. You can't think about any other Subaru. No modern Subarus come to head.
So let's play a game at home. If I say to you, name 3, 5, or 7 Japanese manufacturers. So if I say to you, go to any of your colleagues and say, name 3 Japanese manufacturers. Neck on the block, Toyota will be first. Always.
Toyota.
I think Suzuki will come second. Now third, wait a second, this is how the game will go. Third, who else? Honda, or potentially Mazda. Okay, so now I say to you, name 5. Toyota, Suzuki first and second.
Yeah.
We've got Honda. We've got Mazda. We've got Mitsubishi. Who will mention in the top 5? Subaru.
Unless if you really love Subaru as the brand, then you'll mention
No,
it.
correct.
And
But if
otherwise, general public, definitely not.
Now, we know Suzuki is partly owned by Toyota, or Toyota is partly owned by Suzuki.
Yeah, they have,
There's
like,
a lot,
shares or whatever.
correct.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Subaru, have they got a relationship with Toyota overseas?
The fact that you're asking, I'm going to say yes.
A strong, strong relationship. Now, if you take the Toyota 86,
Oh, yes, you're right. I don't know, I forget about that.
in many, many
Yeah,
markets,
you're right.
Subaru does exceptionally well.
Yeah.
In South Africa, it does decently. I've never seen a Subaru ad. If you said to me, Mike, I've just got a puncture on my Subaru and I need to get to the closest Subaru service center, I would not have a clue where the nearest one is to Johannesburg, to Pretoria, to Cape Town, to Durban. Would you?
No, how many dealerships do you think they have? I haven't seen a Subaru dealership in forever.
I can honestly, truthfully say I've not investigated this. We don't have a clue. Cannot be more than 7 or 8.
Do you
If
think?
Volvo have got 9, are Subaru going to have more than Volvo?
No, because I actually do see Volvos on the road. I saw a couple of few today. So, interesting. Do you think there's any Subarus on the CHANGECARS website?
I don't know, there are. There are 2. No, I'm joking. No, there are. There are a lot of Subarus, but it's just this incredible nondescript brand.
Yeah.
Like I said, play that top 5, it ain't going to be Subaru. So I want to give a suggestion. I've spoken to nobody about this. Korean, Hyundai, and Kia, I love. Chinese brands, Jatua, I think is great. Haval, we respect. Chery, we respect, etc. Amoda. Japanese, I should name the other 27 and then the 14 that are coming in before the end of the year.
Yes.
Japanese brands. Name one Japanese brand that you do not like. If I say do not like, give me a single brand that you can say, I don't respect it. Toyota, respect.
Yes.
Suzuki,
Yes.
Nissan,
Yes.
Honda,
Yes.
Mitsubishi,
Yes.
Subaru.
Yes.
So there's not one that you don't like.
No.
Let's do this. Mitsubishi, Mazda, Honda, Subaru. Why don't those dealerships or groups or OEMs get together and say, let's do a multi-franchise, and we go to areas specifically where there are, who are the Chinese multi-franchisers?
Amada J-Coup, Chery. They're always like...
All part of the Chery family. Amoda,
J-Coup,
J-Coup, Chery,
Chery.
Jatua. Absolutely.
Yeah. They're always together, like, if you think about it. Yeah.
So I walk in, I say my first two choices on Chinese are Jatua and Chery. Then I go next door and I say, let me just have a quick look at what's happening of these four mainstream but not well marketed or well known Japanese brands. Mazda, Honda, who was it? Mazda, Honda, Mitsubishi and Subaru. Wouldn't that be absolutely brilliant?
It would.
And remember, what's
it's a good
also
idea.
nice, sorry to interrupt you, how many models does Toyota have? Toyota have got like 12, 15, 18. They can't multi-franchise,
No,
they don't
can't.
need to.
They don't need to.
But Subaru have got what, 2 or 3. Mitsubishi have got 2 or 3. Mazda, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. So they can afford to.
Imagine walking into a multi-franchise Japanese dealership where expenses are shared and each one of those products are universally liked.
I'd get so confused.
To Mazda, to Honda, to Mitsubishi, to Subaru, thank you. You're welcome.
We'll be sending an invoice soon. If you do it, we'll be sending an invoice.
But-
Just joking, but
But
it's an
would that
idea.
work? But would that work?
100%. Definitely would. And they target where the Chinese are situated. As much as the Chinese are all over now, but target the main ones and then definitely get market share from that.
So look what the new imports into the country did. They targeted existing brands.
Yeah.
They out-advertised them, they out-priced them. I'm saying, make it a fair fight. You guys are doing well. You've taken away market share from us. I mean, we always talk about British football.
Yeah.
If you steal players from me,
So from you.
it's fair game. I'm going to
Yeah.
steal players from you. Same thing with supporters. I think that would honestly be the most brilliant concept.
Speaking of cars and buying cars, a question that we receive as Change Cars, especially
Yes,
you, in
you
specific,
should use CHANGECARS.
you in specific, when buying a vehicle, vehicles from rental companies, would you buy one? Let me ask you that question. And would you advise someone to buy one?
So, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this. Would you like the short answer or the long answer?
So be prepared, guys, a long answer.
The short answer would be, for what possible reason would you buy an ex-rental vehicle when the price of that vehicle is not going to be better than a non-ex-rental vehicle? So why say short or long answer? If you say to me, Michael, I'm buying a vehicle from a rental company, it's an ex-rental, it's selling for 35,000 Rand less than another vehicle with comparative mileage. Nicky, I think it makes sense. There's an argument for it.
Yeah.
If you say to me, I'm buying a vehicle, it's an ex-rental vehicle, mileage is 36,000, and it's the exact same price as a non-ex-rental, why would you do it?
No need.
Now, if you ask me, why am I opposed or anti-ex-rental vehicles? Very, very easy. Not what people think, oh, ex-rental vehicles get hammered. I'm sure there's a few idiots who will disrespect that, but they're idiots. So I'm not worried about a vehicle being disrespected. What I'm worried about is manual cars. You have a certain
Clutch.
driving style.
Clutch.
I have a certain driving style. You know that everybody's driven that car differently. That clutch has to be more worn out.
Yeah.
Then, rental vehicles. It's not my vehicle. I'm a little bit less careful. It's a bucky. Do those vehicles get bumped?
Yeah, definitely.
Little bumps, not accidents, little
definitely.
bumps. Now, Nicky goes to Avis, and let's focus on Avis in particular. And you see a vehicle that you're about to rent, and it's got a massive scratch along the side, or a bumper that's scratched. Are you happy, or do you want them to give you a better quality vehicle?
If I'm renting it,
Yeah.
I'd want to. Depending on how, if I'm in a rush, whatever, I'm like, okay, it's fine, whatever. I'm
But
content.
I'd be disappointed. So
Yeah.
I see a vehicle that's got a scratch. So why do I mention that? Rental companies know if the vehicle's got a scratch, it's got to be fixed up. How quickly do they have to fix it up to get the vehicle on the road?
Very quickly.
Correct. So the quality of work
Oh,
done
yeah.
to fix that. Now,
It's
let's
a
go
rush
back.
job.
Correct. Now that same scratch can happen 3, 4, 5 times. So you've got a bumper on an ex-rental vehicle that's been, remember, it's not an accident.
Yeah.
It can be an accident, but fundamentally it wouldn't be. It would just be little nicks. Why do I want to buy a vehicle that's had X amount of panels resprayed several times potentially?
Yeah.
The quality of that respray is not
best.
nearly as good. So a company like Avis Rental, they have their own rental division. I'm open, I can say it. Are they on Change Cars?
Yes.
Not a chance. This man doesn't know me. We should start editing this out.
I knew. I knew I was gonna pick a button by saying
Avis
yes.
X Rentals are not on our site. Now, I can tell you there are certain car companies, motoring companies, that do have X Rentals, but I know how they look after those cars immeasurably better than particularly the one I've mentioned. So all I'm saying to you is, if I had a choice, same price, same kilos, same color, X Rental versus non-X Rental, I'm going with non-X Rental.
Need advice? Visit changecars.co.za and click on the Ask Mikey tab.
So normally after the break, you're supposed to come back. Today, if it's all right with you, can I share something with the audience?
100%.
Thank you. What is absolutely incredible, it's not happening every second day or every third day. It's happening 5, 6, 7 times a day. Nicky and myself will get messages from the public. We'll phone them. The way the public is reacting to us, Nicky, I cannot but say a humble thank you. How would you describe it when you phone a client that's written in and they actually get to speak to you? How does it make you feel?
Makes me feel good, and I can hear from the way they speak and their voice, they don't expect us to call them back.
That's
It's
exactly it.
specific, yeah.
So I look at Lewis Hamilton, I look at Max Verstappen, and they really are superstars. And you think, how would it feel to be a superstar where you have all these people wanting your autograph, etc.? And I cannot say I wouldn't be jealous. Would you be jealous to be like them? Envious?
Envious, yes, but I'm at a point where now it's kind of getting too much. But because of my line of work, I understand it and I appreciate it.
I can tell you openly that I'm absolutely humbled when we get to reach out. The thank you after you've spoken to people where they say, can't actually believe you phoned. And this is not us blowing smoke up our own chimney.
Yeah.
This is us saying thank you to you for the way you see us. How else can we say thank you to the audience?
You must come and see us. You must come and see us.
So Nicky and myself were talking and we came up with an idea collectively. We want to do an open day. So we are based in Gauteng. Around Gauteng, we've got the most beautiful ocean views. We've got the most beautiful wildlife. Sorry, am I getting that wrong?
Wrong provinces.
What we do have is we have a beautiful Muldersdrift. When last were you in Muldersdrift?
Not less than a month ago.
How beautiful is it out there?
Very beautiful.
So what we'd like to do is invite between 30 and 50, and when I say between 30 and 50 people to join us for an open day. It will be a Saturday or a Sunday. We'll let you know, but write in to openday@changecars.co.za. Say you'd like to join us. We'd love to introduce ourselves to you personally, hear your stories, just interact. It'll be an incredible fun day. You know what it will cost you?
0. No, it won't cost them 0. It'll cost them from them leaving the house to where it's happening. So the fuel there.
But getting to see Nicky, it's all worth it. I must just also tell you, you saw me do that. One of my favorite sayings is, it's a round figure, or I'll go like that. And I like when people say the comments. Have you ever noticed Mike loves to do that? I love talking with my hands. Is that a good or a bad thing in your eyes?
It shows that you like to express yourself. So it's a good thing, because you like to express yourself. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I always say passion is something that resonates with me. I love warm people. I love open people. So unfortunately, if you ever see me talking like this for a whole show, you know I've been semi-paralyzed and not what I want.
So it's actually been a very positive podcast.
Aren't they always?
They always are positive, but this one in specific, we spoke about a lot of things. There's a lot of change, which I also didn't expect, because some topics, I don't know of them. So like the whole, how Mazda is shifted, now you're going to meet Craig Roberts. I think also how Mahindra, the CEO, handles certain things. Just love how the manufacturers are actually opening up and doing what's right for the public. So I just like that whole change. It's been a very good podcast today.
It is absolutely superb. So just remember, doesn't matter who you are. Take Ford as an example. You owe me nothing.
Yeah.
But by ignoring us, ignoring the customers, how are you doing yourself a favor? I'm going to repeat again. Mahindra, Rajesh, Mazda, Craig, Chery, McGinn. Absolutely brilliant. To all the OEMs who follow this, and I do believe that they are following it, and positively. Michael at Change Cars, Nicky, Nicky at Change Cars. Write to us and say, guys, if you have a challenge, we want to help the customer quickly and speedily. Imagine a customer writes to us and says, hey guys, what do you recommend? I've got a challenge with, just using the example, Mitsubishi. Brilliant. Let me tell you, our customer relation consultant contact there is immediately sorted. So please write to us. Is that the end?
Yeah, that is the end. We've spoken about certain things, but alluding to what we're going to speak about next time being in 2 weeks' time, feels like a long time from now, but in 2 weeks' time, something that bothers me, you guys know a lot, roadblocks, they bother me, but I want us to touch on about roadblocks in specific next time when we get to the next episode. But for now, this has been the episode. Been with Michael Pashut. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Looking for a vehicle warranty? Look no further. Change Cars has partnered with VAPS SA, proudly powered by King Price Insurance. Change Cars, the brand the public trusts with good reason. Keep it or change cars, the motoring podcast others try copy.